Before we begin to have a look at the Nanup of today, let's first delve into the past and have a look at the history of the area. European exploration began in 1834, when Thomas Turner led a party north from Augusta to trace the source of the Blackwood River. The first land was taken up at Nanup in 1851. Times for the first settlers were very tough, as they cleared huge stands of karri to provide grazing lands for their cattle. Most of the clearing had to be done with little more than a cross-cut saw and an axe. Today, timber, dairy and fruit are the area's main agricultural activities. A bridge was built across the Blackwood River in 1866, and soon afterwards a police station and post office were constructed nearby. The area was first referred to as Lower Blackwood. In 1885, George Lehman asked for land for a town site to be reserved near the bridge, and the town was surveyed in 1889. The town site was gazetted the following year, and the first school in the district was established in 1903. The name is said to be Aboriginal in origin, and may mean meeting place by water, or place to rest by water, or even, according to one source, place of parrots. Perhaps we should go with meeting place of parrots by water. In 1909, a railway link to Jerrawood and the South Western Railway was completed. But as with many towns in the southwest, once road transport took over, the railway closed down in 1984. The timber industry was once the major employer in the area, and mills were developed at Balingup and Ellis Creek between 1908 and 1913. The operations eventually moved closer to Nannup, and the old mills closed down in 1925. With modern-day concerns about sustainability and timber reserves, the timber industry has seen a period of decline. Although it still operates in the region, these days tourism, agriculture, viticulture and aquaculture have all started to make a much bigger impact on the local economy. Fires in the area are quite frequent, and many of the original buildings have been destroyed over the years. The Bunnings Timber Mill, which operated at the same site since 1926, was destroyed by fire in 1954. There is a park by the side of Vass Highway where you'll find a memorial to Marinko Thomas, a local man who was the first Western Australian national serviceman to be killed in the Vietnam War. To make his story even worse, he was killed by friendly artillery fire. During the 1970s, a number of people moved to Nannup seeking an alternate lifestyle. Many were conscientious objectors who were opposed to the Vietnam War and left mainstream society to look for a better way of life. Building mud brick, stone and timber homes, they sought to become self-sufficient and banded together to help each other. These hippies were not well regarded by the old guard in town, and it took some time for them to be accepted. At the time, the town was in serious decline. Shops only opened for half a day. There was little or no tourism, and even the local school was threatened with closure. Gradually, the new residents developed new businesses and produced items not usually available, such as sesame oil and tahini. Artists were also attracted to the area, and soon a small arts and crafts community developed. The area that had once relied heavily on the timber industry was now starting to diversify, and this in turn started to attract tourism. A small music festival started in 1989, and this has now grown to be a very significant event held each March long weekend. Nanup is the centre of one of the most picturesque regions in the whole of the southwest. with 85% of the shire being covered by forest. Roads between Nannup and Bridgetown and Nannup and Balingup are very attractive scenic drives. The area is very popular with visitors, and there's a wide range of accommodation available. Much of the area is still heavily forested, and nature-based activities such as bushwalking, camping, bike riding and birdwatching are just some of the reasons people are drawn to the area. With the completion of a road to Margaret River, the area's popularity with visitors has only increased. The Blackwood River has been subject to floods over the years, but the town was last seriously impacted all the way back in 1982, so visitors really don't have too much to worry about. The 1982 event was very significant indeed, and the flood tree near the Foreshore Park shows just how high the water rose. It's something to contemplate as you stand on the bridge and realise that you would have been well underwater at the time. There are a multitude of different walks and scenic drives in the area, including the Golden Triangle Drive between Nannup, Balingup and Bridgetown, and the Golden Gully Drive along East Nannup and Gold Gully roads. The Bibbulmun Track and Mundabiddi Trail also pass through the shire. One tourist attraction that was very short-lived in town was the Nannup clock. Clockmaker Peter Bird created the world's largest wooden pendulum clock, and it was installed in a purpose-built tower in the town's main street. It took 6 weeks to move and install, but after just 3 months there was a falling out between the building's owners and Mr. Bird. He was given just 1 week to remove the clock, in what has to be seen as one of the worst decisions for tourism that's ever been made in the town. This has similar overtones to the debacle in Denmark, where the Bert Bowl barometer closed down due to the greed of the local tourist centre trying to charge entry fees for what Bert had wanted to be a free attraction. The cost to both towns in lost tourism would be difficult to estimate, but it certainly would be significant. It's impossible to visit Nannup without seeing references to the Nannup tiger. The thylacine has been extinct on the Australian mainland for thousands of years and has been extinct in Tasmania since the 1930s. True believers still insist that a population of thylacines still manages to survive deep in the karri forests that surround Nannup. But despite sightings over the years, there has never been any hard evidence to back this up. This has of course developed into a local industry, and rumour has it that there are even life-size replicas of the Nannup tiger located deep in the forests that keep the legend alive.